What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. In this video, we are jumping into Deathstroke Incorporated, issue number 11. We are jumping all the way back to Slade Wilson's Year 1. This will be part 2 of Year 1. This is where it all began. This is what made Slade Wilson Deathstroke. These are the trials and tribulations, the first missions, what got him into mercenary work to begin with. This is the very foundation of what makes Deathstroke such a terrifying villain. Now, make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, you have liked this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we dive into this issue, we have Slade Wilson who has accepted his first contract, being paid $1 million. He has been contracted to kill the doctor that ran the experiments on him, and if he is being honest with himself, he has never felt more alive. He has regained his sense of purpose. He now has a new mission, and while little Grant doesn't want him to leave, his father had just returned, just wanting him to be there with him. This is something that Slade simply cannot do. His family believes he's going on a hunting trip, and while he knows that he should feel something while his son is sitting here crying before him, the only thing he really feels is annoyance at him for being weak, at himself for feeling this way. But there is nothing there. There is no love. There is only frustration, almost as if his son and wife are really keeping him from the life that he would love to lead, the life that he feels he never should have left. And so as Slade and Wintergreen, they take off. They begin going over the entire dossier. The doctor he has been contracted to kill, Dr. Campbell. He was the lead on the team that conducted the experiments on him and 47 other soldiers. All of them, like him, re-enlisted or previously injured in the line of duty. All of them looking for a second shot of glory. Unlike him, all other 47 soldiers died during the experiments. And every single death covered up, millions paid out to families, widows, or whoever else might ask any questions. They all got proper military burials. Cause of death was listed as an accident or combat related. It is one absolute cover-up. More than a dozen doctors involved. Twice as many guards and admin workers. Every single one of them have died. Car accidents, slipping in the shower, carbon monoxide. The list goes on and on and on. Dr. Campbell is the last one standing. He knew that he was being targeted, and so he turned himself in to the FBI. Currently held up in Seattle. He is negotiating the terms of his deal, and Slade has to ask the question, why would they spend millions of dollars to silence victims and families, but just kill off the scientists? And that is because the doctors and everyone else that they murdered, they were the ones that really knew what was happening. And dead men simply don't talk. This is when we pick up with Adeline, Slade Wilson's wife, having little Grant with her there at the grocery store. And what we are seeing is that she is going to get a pregnancy test. Finally getting to Isherwood's place. Slade and Wintergreen, they go inside, walking into his workshop. Isherwood has been working on something that is going to be really great for Slade Wilson. Ever since the experiment, Slade Wilson, he has learned that he has been stabbed, stomped on, just about every bone in his body has been shattered. And within minutes, maybe hours, these things are healing up. But even with all of this, Slade Wilson is not bulletproof. They don't really know the true extent of his abilities just yet. But he has something that is really going to even the playing field. Something that will make him bulletproof. Because Isherwood has been working on a suit. Fibers made out of promethium, a brand new metallic compound from a lab out in New York City, having many different applications. They began making full combat suits. The fabric being self-healing. It is the perfect suit. Of course, this is something that is just experimental. Many of them have been written off as non-effective. because sometimes this fiber isn't as stable as they would like it to be. But he assures Slade Wilson that this one is the real deal. And so trying this suit on, this is the first time that we see Slade Wilson dressed up in his costume as Deathstroke, even making a comment that he is not a big fan of the orange, believing that he's going to stick out like a sore thumb. This is just an experimental outfit. He hasn't had the time to go about painting it and making it more stealth-like. And so throwing his suit on, he goes outside and he begins practicing how to shoot with this suit on, making sure that he is 100% comfortable before he goes into battle. While they're sitting out here, Wintergreen lets him know that the path that he is going down, it could be very dangerous. Not in the terms of his life, not in the terms of life and death, but so much so on his mental capacity. That fighting in a war, that is one thing. Going down the path of being a mercenary, that is a whole different path. And while this first mission, it may be justified, what comes after? Who do they ask you to kill next? Not only that, the people that are going to be protecting this doctor, more than likely, they are going to be prior soldiers. As Slade Wilson really just chalks this up to they know what they're getting themselves into. They signed up for the job, this is the job. Making their way to Seattle, Washington. They have scoped it out, they have planned it, they are getting ready for their assault. Thinking to himself that Wintergreen is right. He can tell himself all day that he is doing this because of what had that doctor done to him. But that wouldn't necessarily be a lie. But there is definitely more to the story. He has only ever been good at one thing. He knows that this makes him a monster because killing is the only thing he has ever been truly great at. The world needs monsters like him. Wintergreen setting the explosive charge down in the basement. This is going to kill the lights and security. Deathstroke waiting on the rooftop. As Wintergreen makes his escape, the bomb detonates. The agents are now alerted, recognizing that everything has gone dark and they are under attack. They try to get the doctor to safety, but before they can do so, it is already too late. Trying to make their way through the stairway, this is where Slade Wilson comes walking up, making dudes lay down left and right. There is nothing that can stop Slade Wilson, or at least so he thinks. As he is opening fire on all of these federal agents, that is when an arrow lands directly in his barrel, the weapon backfiring and exploding in his hand. This is where we see the one, the only Green Arrow coming in with a perfect arrow shot, letting the federal agents know that he has it from here. What comes next is Slade Wilson versus Oliver Queen, and that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I am absolutely loving this year one Slade Wilson, getting to see the building blocks of really what made him the person he is today, how he got his suit, how he got down this mercenary path. But not only that, learning the true extent of what he is capable of going against heroes like Green Arrow. And Green Arrow is going to quickly learn that he is out of his league when going toe-to-toe with the one and only Deathstroke. One of the saddest things about this story, I think, is the fact that he can't be a family man. Having a wife, having a son, having a daughter on the way that he doesn't know about. The adrenaline, the purpose. All of this pulls him away. A lot of these being really psychopathic tendencies. Cut off from the emotion, but not completely, because he does feel guilt, he does feel remorse, wanting to love his son, but at the end of the day, he simply can't love him, not in the way that he truly deserves to be loved. And there is an argument to be made that maybe Slade Wilson never being around his son, it really is for the better. But knowing the way that things turn out, that might not be the case. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your theories. If you would like to get caught up on everything going on with Deathstroke Incorporated, be sure to check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. Now, if you can't do that, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.